Nobody likes being criticized. If you're in a relationship where it seems like every conversation turns into a personal critique, then this video is for you. Today, I want to talk about practical steps you can take to minimize and maybe even end the criticism in your relationship. So let's dive right in. Most people think that one of the big problems in their relationship is that the other person is being too critical of them. It's really hard to look in the mirror and see a critic in yourself. Recognizing when you are the one being too critical in a relationship can be tough, but it is absolutely crucial for a happy relationship. So let's start by talking about how to identify this behavior in yourself. I want to look at 3 key signs that you are being overly critical in your marriage. Here's the first one. Micromanaging behavior. Feeling the need to oversee how your partner completes tasks or getting upset when they don't follow your instructions can indicate a controlling and critical attitude. In other words, it's not them, it's you. Okay? A second key indicator is difficulty accepting feedback. When your partner points out your tendency to maybe sometimes be a little bit critical, if you react defensively, that's probably a sign that you are not fully aware of how your words are affecting them. Being open to feedback is essential for growth and improvement in any relationship. A third key signal is frequent conflict. Constantly highlighting what your spouse does wrong inevitably creates tension and resentment. That pattern usually stems from a desire to control or correct rather than engage in constructive dialogue. If you find that your relationship is characterized by constant arguments about your partner's actions or decisions, then that is a strong indicator that you are being overly critical. If any of those sound like you, then I have got a song lyric for you. It's from a song David wrote, Psalm 141. And here's the lyric. Set a guard over my mouth, O Lord. Keep watch over the door of my lips. So David is essentially praying, God, put a muzzle on me. Don't let me be so critical that I say things I regret. That's a pretty good prayer and one we should all probably make a habit of praying a little more often. So besides praying that, how do you change your critical tendencies? Here are 3 practical steps for having healthier communication in your relationship and experiencing less negative conflict as a result. The first one is pause before responding. When you feel the urge to criticize, take a moment to assess and ask yourself whether your expectation is reasonable. If possible, postpone offering any critical feedback for 24 hours. In other words, sleep on it before you say anything. That allows you to get some distance from the heat of the moment rather than simply reacting. We live in a world that is quick to call foul and get upset, but very slow to overlook a mistake or anything that offends us. So press the pause button, allow your spouse to be less than perfect, and recognize that we are all still in process. If the issue still seems worth addressing the next day, then consider how you can express your feelings without attacking your partner. And here's a way to do that. It's the second step. Adopt I statements. Instead of framing your concerns as criticisms, express them using I statements. For example, you could say, I wish we could work on our household chores together instead of you never help with chores. Rather than saying you always forget to do the dishes, try I've noticed the dishes are still in the sink. Could we tackle them together? This communication approach focuses on your feelings rather than blaming your partner. Increasingly, our culture seems to think that if someone is wrong, then lashing out in response and saying whatever is totally justified. But criticism is actually a choice, and it's rarely the right choice. Choosing instead to use I statements is a great way to express your needs or concerns without inciting the other person to get defensive. Here's the third step. Acknowledge the positives. Make a conscious effort to recognize and appreciate the positive things your partner does. Research indicates that it takes 5 positive interactions to counter the effect of one negative comment. The practice of being intentionally encouraging can help shift your mindset from criticism to appreciation. Not only does it change you, it can change them, because now instead of tearing your mate down, you can build them up and inspire them by pointing to their potential for doing great things. By getting intentional and implementing these strategies, you can cultivate mutual respect and understanding. I think you'll agree those are important components for any healthy relationship.